What's up? Welcome everybody to the 9RG YouTube channel. That's right, my first video here by myself on the channel. My name is OnlyTheBest, aka Simon. I'm glad to finally be here. This video is going to be all about the RPG roguelike that sort of made me fall in love with the genre again. That's called Hades. The roguelike is set in the Greek mythos, as the name implies. You get to play the role of Zagreus, Hades' son, as he tries to meet his family of gods on Olympus and escape the underworld. On the way, he catches word of who his mom might be and where she lives. So his goal then quickly shifts to getting his mom back to hell with him. So that he can sort of fix his family. On the way, you meet so many different mythological figures like Megara, Patroclus, Achilles, and the cute little three-headed Cerberus that we all know and love. You gain access to these cool things called infernal arms, all of which again are mythological weapons. So there's Stygius, Varatha, Aegis, Coronact, the Fists of Amalphon, and Exegryph. Which all push different styles of play. So Stygius, you can go for sort of a crit build with a certain aspect, or you can go a just sort of big damage, hitty things hard build with another build. The bow, you can infuse your cast into the arrows, and then when the next person you hit with your cast or with your shot blows up with your cast damage. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of different variability that you can use in this game to make it play. As you get more experience with these weapons, like I said, they evolve, they get stronger, they get new aspects, and then you can unlock hidden aspects, which completely change the landscape of how you're supposed to play the weapon. It's very, very cool stuff. So, as the genre implies, Hades it's an ever-changing game. You'll never have the same run 2 times in a row. For example, one run, you might just be going for big hitty critty build with, Artemis.
Oh, that's a lot of damage!
And the King Arthur's sword. And another build, you might just be yelling "Trippy shot" to yourself over and over and over again as you bull rush your way into enemies with the Beowulf shield. Trippy shot. It's you never find yourself playing the same style 2 times in a row. It's really, really cool, and the game does not get boring. I'm a testament to this. I've played over 125 hours. I think last time I checked it was 128.9 hours of Hades. And I still find the story and the character interactions so refreshing. I find the gameplay to be fast-paced and rewarding, and when you do things right and you do them really, really well, it just works. And that being said, end game content is very lacking. So what I mean by end game is you beat the game, you reunite your father with your mother, and you sort of live as a happy family. And then your next job, which in 120 hours, 8 hours, I'm not even done with. The next task is to sort of have a family reunion with everybody on Olympus, and they all come down to hell, and you have a party, and everything's happy. But then after that, there's not much that you can do. You can do meme runs, you can do super challenging runs. It really just depends, on what you want to do. But that stuff can get boring at some times. Because for the meme runs, there's only a few like really memey builds that when you hit it, it's just like, wow, this is perfect. And then like the hard builds can just get really tedious and annoying at times. Because so after you beat it the first time, they enact a pact of punishment, which adds a heat system that sort of, you get to augment the runs in certain ways. And when you're at like 50 heat, the game is just tedious and almost at times unfun. So they need to do something to sort of spice it up. One thing you can do is you can go a competitive route with it, and you can do speed runs, which I've attempted a couple, but and those are really fun. But for a more casual player, the game might not be as interesting. So what can Supergiant do? Well, add DLC very, very easily. It doesn't even have to be a massive update to this game. Like, the game is so broad that they don't need a massive, content addition. But there are a couple ways, and I'll give my interpretation of what they can do. So why Hades needs an update and DLC, and what they can do. So first, most obvious thing I think is that they can just add new gods to the pool. So right now there are 9 gods. I'm going to try and name them for you: Zeus, Poseidon, Artemis, Aphrodite, Ares, Dionysus, Demeter. Okay, Dionysus, Demeter, Hermes, and there's one more, and I'm gonna think of it really quick, and I'm sure somebody will make it obvious what I'm missing, but there's a 9th there, and they all fill certain roles. They've got certain aspects to them that make them different. Zeus is obviously an electric style build, so his damage is very AoE. So his attack, you sort of hits and it spreads to other opponents. His special summons lightning, like, it's really, really cool. There's certain not crowd control, but status effects called Jolted, where if the creature attacks, it deals damage to him. And every god sort of has that going for them, but you can only use those gods so many times before it's like, oh cool, I got this one. And I think a very easy way to sort of spice it up a little bit is add another god to the pool, and I've got a god that would fit that perfectly, and that's Hephaestus. This guy, his lore would be interesting. Like, he's a god that was put in exile because he was ugly. He was born, malformed. So the gods just sort of threw him into a volcano, and made him the blacksmith. And he's married to Aphrodite. So there's some really cool interactions that they can have there. And he fits the bill of being an Olympian god, which, as of now, Hades has limited their god pool to Olympian gods. So he fits that bill too. And I see him adding some new dot effect to his attack, so it would probably be called something like Burn, because Hephaestus is the god of fire, which is not an element that is currently used in the game. Then so your attacks would deal burn, and then that burn stacks, or that burn would get bigger the more the addition, like the onset damage would be. So say your attack is dealing 50 damage, well, your burn might deal 20% of that damage over 3 seconds per second. So you're dealing 50 damage, but you're dealing 20 damage added onto that for 3 seconds, something like that. And then maybe his call could be like summoning a giant volcano from the ground, and then fire would spew from it and would deal damage in an AoE or in like a meteor spread, or like something like that. Just very, very quick thinking, but it just works. And also something to remember is there's something called dual boons, where 2 gods come together and make this boon that you can use in your build. very simply. And that in and of itself would add another layer of possible customization to it. So I just a couple off the top of my head: Fires of Love, him and Aphrodite. Maybe it's something like foes inflicted with weak, which is what Aphrodite does. Would take a percentage more burn damage for a longer duration. So they take maybe 20% additional burn damage over an additional 5 seconds, which would be really, really dope. Or the Fires of the Heavens, where foes that get struck by Zeus's lightning bolt would get dealt fire damage. Along with the lightning damage that it deals. So it's like, a fire lightning bolt type deal. Just very, very simply. I thought of this stuff in like 30 minutes. So if I can do it, Supergiant and their devs can do something immaculate with this. Now, another thing that they can do very easily is add more weapon aspects or more keepsakes or something little like that. And it's something that would be very, very easy to do. You don't have to limit yourself to adding an Olympian god into the pool, because they've already added gods from other mythoses or ancient figures from other mythoses. So there's Arthur, Guan Yu, Rama, Beowulf, Enkidu, like simple stuff like that. They could just, you throw it in there, and obviously you got to think about what they do. I've got a couple weapons listed. So first would be Trishula. It would be a spear aspect. And Trishula is Lord Shiva's, spear. It's a 3-headed spear that just it's known for being the most powerful weapon in all of mythos. Which would be cool. It's spear, makes sense. And then another could be, this is more, Norse themed, would be Gram, the sword that Odin stuck in the world tree. And then, Sigurd used it to slay a dragon later. Simple stuff like that you could use. It was wielded by Odin. Maybe it's it goes with Zeus a little bit type deal. And if the Supergiant devs see this, maybe. This, the Gram sword, could be, could have some Nine Realms influence. I don't know. I think this game is just too big and too good, to not have a longer lifespan, and a more, to have a longer casual, player experience. So yeah, that's all I've got to say in the matter. I think it can do very well, and I think it would do a lot of good for the game. So, that'll be all. Thank you all for watching. If you want to see more Hades-like games, follow my Twitch at OnlyTheBest124. I play a lot of roguelikes as well as Valorant and other games. I'm a variety streamer, as I like to label myself. And you can also follow the 9 Realms Twitch at 9RealmsGG for more content related to Hades, roguelikes, and a massive amount of other games. So thank you very much.